take our bacon. Add our bacon into our pot. Now we're doing 2 at a time. So both of them go in. Want these about medium to high heat. And you also have our, where'd my paper towels go? I had paper towels laid out just for these boys. Here they are. So where the bacon used to be, we put out some paper towels. Because when these are done cooking, when they're done cooking, we have to drain some of the fat from the bacon. Not all of it, but leave some of it in, because then we're going to cook our vegetables in that fat of the bacon. So let's get these going. Now we got to cook these until they are very crispy. We want these fully cooked and crispy, like almost to the point of being burnt, but not until the point that you have like those like the black char in the fat of the bacon, but you want them well done. You want these well cooked, because they are going to go back. They're gonna, after we cook these, they're gonna take a rest. Once they get to their peak crispiness, they're gonna take a rest while we cook the rest of the stuff. But these must be crispy as hell. Now this pot heats up a little bit faster than this one does. We're gonna move that a little bit higher and this one a little bit lower. Try to keep everybody on the same plane. Now, in each pot we have 5, maybe 6 slices of thick cut bacon, hickory smoked, I believe. 5 to 6 slices of bacon. You have to cook these until they are crispy. They're gonna start frying in their own fat, you know, like, and you'll know, like, you'll be able to smell and see once they start turning like, what kind of brown? Not like this color brown, but more like a very dark peanut butter. If you try to go past a very dark peanut butter, then you're in burn city. So you need to make sure that you do not burn your bacon. Don't burn your bacon. You want them crispy. If you don't cook them crispy, then it's going to be chewy in the chili. And you don't want chewy bacon in your chili. You want it to fall apart, which is the same story with every other ingredient in this, well, in chili period, really. I mean, it's why we dice our onions. It's why we dice our red pepper. We dice our garlic. Everything's got to blend together, including the bacon. So this is an important part. And if you don't like bacon, well, this recipe is not for you, because the bacon makes the entire dish. If you can, save your extra cans of beans, because you need to drain a lot of the fat off of the bacon that's been cooking. So if you put your beans in another container, like I have, save a couple containers, maybe one container, because you're going to have to pour off a lot of the fat, and you definitely don't want to pour that down your drain. So hold on to a couple cans. So this is 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon chili powder, 1 tablespoon ancho chili powder, which I have left out and substituted some Thai chili blend. It's going to be, I used 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon cumin, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and half a teaspoon of salt. There's also a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, which won't really matter if you use the Thai chilies anyway, but go ahead and throw it in if you like. Now, because I'm doing 2 pots, one of these is bound to be ready before the other. So the way to take your bacon out, and I will show this in a minute, but you need to have a spoon with drainage in it. But these are starting to get dark, and I'm going to turn down the heat just by a notch or two. And keep moving these around because I want them all to get crispy and I want all that fat to render. Now, some of this fat we're going to use to cook down the vegetables, right? But what's important here is that we get these bacon bits to get nice and crispy but not burnt. Okay, so we're just about there in this pot. This pot, we've got another couple minutes, I believe. I'm going to turn the heat up just a touch. So what you need to have ready is you need to have ready a, you can use the plate that you put your bacon on, but have a paper towel and a spoon or spatula like this to let the rest of the fat out. And you can kind of squeeze that against the side of your saucepan just to get the rest of the fat out, because we want these nice and crispy. We don't want them soggy. And scrape them up out of all the fat on the bottom side. And just spread these out over your paper towel. Now what you're left with is too much fat in the bottom. All that rendered bacon fat, which is delicious, it's too much. It's too much. We've left about 1.5 tablespoons of bacon fat in the bottom of these pots. Gonna add in our onions. So we start with the onions. Get the onions going. Then once we get the onions translucent, we get them going real good. Then we're going to add in our red pepper. Usually this onions only take, if you're doing it on high heat, if you're working fast, maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds. That's about it. So once we got these guys going, now we're going to add in our red pepper. Both pots.
Show it to me.
Oh, red pepper goes in the pots. You want to cook these till onions are soft. Well, till red peppers are soft, onions translucent. Now you want to turn your heat down because you don't want to cook anything like too fast. Now you can kind of tell by smell what you've got. Once you smell those peppers going, then you can add in your the garlic. Next time to add in our garlic. We're going to add in garlic. Okay, this is about 6 cloves because garlic makes everything better. And so how can more be wrong? I'm going to add this on this side too. Now this you only need to cook for maybe 30 seconds. Just keep it stirred up and your nose will tell you when it's ready. You'll smell it. All right. So that's pretty much good to go right there. Let's go adding our beef into it. So we got 1 pound of lean ground beef, leanest you can find. I've got like 93% lean, 7% fat, and then you got to mix all this up really well. Now you want to cook this until it just gets about half brown and half pink. So you don't want it to be fully brown because you want all these flavors to cook into your meat. So we're going to add all of our spices into this meat when it's about halfway cooked through. And you'll know because it'll look like 50% brown and 50% pink. So as we mix this around with the vegetables, here are the spices. I'm going to mix these up, and then we're going to throw these into the meat while it's halfway cooked through, about half brown, half pink. So I'm going to mix all these up really well. Again, this is smoked paprika, salt, pepper, cayenne pepper, Thai chili. We got some smoked paprika. I can't remember everything I said, but I got to mix up another one because I'm doing 2 batches at a time right now. I can't worry about making it look pretty. Brown sugar also. Whoa, just got a whiff of that Thai chili. So we mix these up as best we can. Now we just kind of add them into all this beef goodness right here. And we're going to mix all this up. That's where all of our flavor is going to come from. But you need to, the timing has to be right, you know. You got to be like half pink, half brown when it comes to browning your meat after the vegetables. Okay, so we're about there on this one. I'm going to add this into here. Now we're going to mix this up real well. Okay. That's going to allow all this spice, all that flavor to cook into your meat as it cooks. I'm going to mix this one up too. And now it's starting to look like chili. We're just going to stir this up. After we get it halfway done, and then we add the seasonings to it, we're going to do it for another minute and a half, about that much time. And then we're going to start adding in our liquids. And our liquids are going to be some beef broth. Beef broth. And get beef broth over here. There we go. See, now that's going to kill that. That's going to kill that heat. To add the rest of our ingredients, this is going to be our. What I'm using is kidney beans. I've got some light red, dark red, and black beans. So these are going to go in. We're going to go into this one too. Then we're going to throw our bacon in there. There's our bacon. Our nice crispy bacon. Bacon goes in over here too. Nice and crispy now. Be careful. We're going to add in our diced fire roasted tomatoes. One for each pot because we're doubling it up today. You can go ahead and see that. It says organic, but I don't care. This is all they had. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all to me. So throw them in. Now we got to add in, well, here, let me give this a stir real quick. And then we're going to add in some of our tomato paste. And we got to add in a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. Some W sauce, as the southern people like to say. Yeah. Lee & Pepperins. That's the best. Some W sauce. Give this one a stir too. Now what we want to do after we finish adding all these ingredients is we want to bring this up to a boil, and then we want to turn down our heat to about a medium or medium low after it all comes up all the way to a boil. We want to bring it to a boil, then take it down to a simmer. Now I got to add in some of this Worcestershire sauce. Give it about a teaspoon or whatever. Just adds another depth to the flavor of it. That's good. And then we'll give that a stir, and then we'll turn our heat up high, and once it starts boiling, then all we need to do is just kind of turn it down some after it starts boiling, and then just kind of let it ride for the next about 30 to 40 minutes maybe. Just make sure you stir all the ingredients in, get them all mixed up good. Look how good this looks though. Look how good that looks. After we get it to a boil, after it comes to a boil, give it a stir. Now we're going to reduce our heat down to maybe medium low, depends on your burners. We're just going to keep it at a simmer for 30 to 40 minutes. This one's not at a boil yet. Different pot, different times. But we got to get this to a boil. It's on as high as it can go. It's definitely the pot, but it's almost there. Okay, so this is our beef and bean chili. This is the final result. It's been simmering for about 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. Just get the extra liquid off all the vegetables. Yeah, it's gonna be fire. So there you go. That's how you do it. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.